Yes, Mohammed, we're waiting for your
Yes,
question.
yes. My second question regarding for the clean of the different windows in the R program.
Uh-huh.
At the first days, you mentioned that a code it's called CLS to clean
Uh-huh.
the windows, but
Mhm.
I think the code it is not working with all the version of the R. It is too.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm trying to do it's my computer with you following directly, but it is not clean different windows. I don't know what's the problem.
Okay. Let me try it this way and let us see the answer, the result first. So share CLS, it is cleaning. So have you tried to put the code exactly in this way?
No, no, not like this one. I
Yeah.
did that CLS just and control enter that to.
No, then it will not work. Please put it inside the function shell before running, like this. Okay. Any other question, please? Okay. If there is no other
Yes, it's
question,
working. Thank you so much.
okay. Thank you.
Yes.
So we'll continue with the presentation at this point. We're going to see how to import data now. So we selected three types of data. We may emphasize only on two, but you realize that I've made the slides very rich. I must not discuss everything, but I've put it there so that even after this work, you can still use it to expand your understanding of few concepts. So we're starting with CSV files. When you have opened your R Studio and you have not loaded any package, you can already import CSV files because there are functions in R. There is a function in R that will help you to import it without requiring another package. And the function itself is read CSV. So you can use the function read CSV without loading any package. Actually, it is using a package, but you are not the one importing. When you open R Studio by default, there are a couple of packages that are loaded by default. You will not see it, but it is loaded. One of them is utils. So this function is located there. You must not you don't have to load any package to do that. Let us try to see how the function read.csv works. So let me comment import CSV files. So if you remember well, you use the function read.csv. Let me just start there. Read.csv. When you have put the name of the function, you open quotes and you put the directory of the file you want to import. Now, where is the file located in my computer? If you remember well, this is what we have in my working directory. We have those folders and so on. But the file I want to import is inside another folder, the folder data. How do I get to it? If I check what is inside that folder, this is the CSV file I want to import. So I want to indicate that I'm importing from data. Then I give the name of the file, dbp wide. I could just copy and paste, but I can also type it at .csv. Then I can run it. Let me resume in French. Donc, j'aimerais importer les données. Dans mon répertoire de travail, j'ai un certain nombre de dossiers et les données que je veux importer se trouvent dans le dossier data. Donc, qu'est-ce que je fais? Je vais commencer par dire read.csv, c'est la fonction qui permet d'importer le fichier CSV. À l'intérieur, j'ouvre les guillemets et je précise la localisation du fichier CSV que je veux importer. Ça se trouve dans le dossier data qui lui-même se trouve, et à l'intérieur du dossier data, le nom de mon fichier, c'est dbp underscore wide.csv. Voilà le nom. Vous voyez. So, understand that this folder I'm putting here, the path is starting at my working directory. So if in the working directory, the data was just there, it will not be necessary to me to put that data. But because in my working directory, the data is inside another folder, I have to specify like this. This is why you see the data here. Actually, to make this code a bit complete, I could put dot underscore. And when you are manipulating files in computers, generally the dot means the current location, the place you are currently. And the place I am currently is my working directory. Now, in my working directory, I have a folder called data, and in the folder data, I have the file the dbp underscore y.csv. Donc, je dis tantôt que normalement, pour que le nom soit plus complet, j'aurais pu mettre point slash. Le point ici signifie l'endroit où je me trouve en ce moment. Et l'endroit où je me trouve en ce moment, c'est le répertoire de travail. À l'intérieur du répertoire de travail, on a un dossier data, et à l'intérieur du dossier data, on a ce fichier. So, the reason I'm even sharing this point with you is because when you'll be working, you may see some notation like that. Don't be afraid. I've given you that in the table here. So sometimes you will see in a code like this, they'll put 2 dots, then slash. 2 dots means that they are going back. Let me explain to you what I mean by going back. So if my working directory was slides, for example, and I want to import a data that is inside data here, I'll have to go from slides, go back first. To go back, I put dot twice. To go back, then enter this folder. Well, don't pay too much attention to that for now. You may understand it later. Now that the code is okay, I cannot just run this way, because if I run like this, it will show me the file in the console and stop there. That's not what I want. I want to put it in an object so that I can refer to it later on to do analysis, manipulation, and other things to it. So I want to give it a name. The name I can give it here is TBP. Know that the name you are the one choosing. If you want to call it even your own name, you can put it there, it will go. Donc, j'ai dit tantôt qu'il ne suffit pas d'écrire ce code et de le lancer. Il faut donner à ça un nom. Lorsque ça arrive dans R, ça devient un objet. On a parlé des objets l'autre jour, les data frames. Ça devient data frame. Il faut qu'on donne à ça un nom pour que lorsqu'on voudra faire des autres opérations là-dessus, on pourra référer à ça par son nom. Donc, si je lance ce code, you will see in my environment, a new object has been created. What's the name of the object? DBP. I'm the one who defined that name in this code. Then it's telling me that it has 40 observations of 9 variables. This is how you import a data in Excel. I mean, in CSV, this is how you import a CSV file. So let us go back to the presentation and see if we have some interesting details there. Yeah. So if you have understood well, the only arguments you must give inside this function is the location of the file. You can give the location of the file, you stop there and you run the code. It will go. Ça va marcher sans souci. You will go without any trouble. But there are a lot of arguments you can add inside there. Let me show you some of those arguments. I'm saying here that sep means sep equals comma and dec equals dot. Let us go back to the meaning of CSV files. So CSV means comma, separated values. What does it mean? It means that if you want to see a CSV like in a, let's say in a if you want to check a CSV file in a block in a text editor like this, this is how the values will appear. It will appear like value 1, comma, value 2, and so on. So this it is showing as a table, but what actually separates values is a comma. Yeah, it may sound, it's not very intuitive, right? But that's how it is. Even when you open in Excel, it will show you as a table. But what is actually representing like that line separating columns is a comma. You cannot see it, but it's a comma. The reason I'm emphasizing on this is because when your computer is in French, the separator is no more the comma, but it's the semicolon. I guess the French people have put the semicolon instead of the comma because the comma in French is normally the decimal symbol. If you put the decimal symbol there, it may be confusing. This is why when you are importing such a file, instead of separator, comma, which is the default value, you should put the semicolon there. Donc, je résume en français. La raison pour laquelle il y a un argument que j'ai ajouté là, séparateur, virgule. Par défaut, c'est sa valeur, donc on n'a pas besoin de spécifier. Quand on ne spécifie pas, ça sait que c'est la virgule. Mais ça pourrait être autre chose. Parce que dans le système francophone ou bien français, le séparateur des fichiers CSV, même quand la définition de CSV nous dit que ce sont les valeurs séparées par des virgules, mais quand c'est dans le français, la convention change. Ça s'appelle toujours CSV. Mais le séparateur, ce n'est plus la virgule, mais c'est le point virgule. Ça veut dire que si on est là, par exemple, à son ordinateur en français, là, et crée un fichier CSV à l'intérieur, je suspecte que le séparateur ne sera pas la virgule, mais ce sera le point virgule. Donc, il faudra qu'elle spécifie cet argument-ci pour que la base de données soit lue correctement. Et l'une des raisons pour lesquelles je pense que dans la convention en français, on a mis le point virgule au lieu de la virgule, c'est que la virgule, c'est le signe décimal en français. Donc, si la virgule devait définir décimal et séparateur, ce serait un peu confus. Donc, c'est pour ça qu'on a dit séparateur, virgule. Ça, c'est très important, surtout quand votre ordinateur en français. Et si vous tapez 1,5, vous tapez vraiment 1,5 au lieu de 0,5, c'est important que vous précisiez que le symbole du décimal chez vous, c'est la virgule et non le point. Est-ce qu'il y a des questions à ce sujet? Oui, monsieur Pascal.
Peux-tu ouvrir un fichier Excel, un fichier CSV par Excel pour qu'ils voient? C'est possible?
Bon, d'accord. Là, par exemple, voici le fichier CSV en question. Si je l'ouvre comme ceci, ça s'affiche normalement, mais en réalité, c'est un fichier CSV. Est-ce que je ne peux pas plutôt essayer d'ouvrir ça avec Bloc-notes? Si Bloc-notes pouvait m'ouvrir ça clairement pour montrer les virgules là, ce serait d'abord bien avant qu'on aille même à Excel. Donc, Open. Donc, j'aimerais afficher tous les documents et je sélectionne le CSV en question. Voilà. When I open the same dataset, when I open with Excel, this is the Excel version, and this is what the block note, the text editor is showing. So Excel is showing it very correctly. We really enjoy the way Excel is showing, but actually in the background, this is what we have. Values are separated with commas. But if it was a computer which was in French, the comma would be the semicolon. Let me replace it. Control H. Let me replace comma with semicolon. Replace all. So, if Ornella, for example, opens a CSV in her computer, I suspect that this is the way it will appear. Instead of semicolon, instead of column, it will appear with semicolon. Excel, basically, her Excel will open it correctly, but if she shares with me, the Excel will not open it correctly. Let me save this file. Save as. I'll call it the second version. .csv. Save. Okay. Now, if I open my working directory, you have that second version, the other CSV, which is exactly how the Francophone computer will see the thing. This is how it's opening in my Excel, but don't pay attention to that for now. If we try to import it in R, so if I go there and I say, I'm importing instead the second version. Yes, imported. But the problem now, let me put 2 here. The problem now, it is telling us that it has one variable, which is not okay. It cannot have one variable. When I try to show it, see what is appearing. You see, it's seeing all this as one column. So I need to adjust that. To adjust that, I want to specify that the separator here is not the comma, but is the semicolon. And I do that by saying set equals semicolon, like this. When I've said this, I run again, you see the data set now has 9 variables. If I try to show it, it's showing correctly now. So this separator argument is an argument you need to be aware of, especially when your computer is not in English. The separator can be basically anything. The only condition is that the separator should be the same everywhere. You just specify it here. It can be the slash, it can be whatever you want. You just have to specify it here. So you see that because the CSV was the French version, it came like this. That's what we can say. There is a second function we would like to introduce you to. Non. Ah. Donc, on est là. Si tu ne veux pas avoir tout ce casse-tête, au lieu d'importer comme ceci, on peut dire DBP3, par exemple, reçoit read.csv. Et on ajoute 2 comme argument. En ajoutant 2, ça va résoudre le problème. Donc, there is another function called print.csv2. In this other function, the separator by default is no more the comma, but it is the semicolon. So you can see the CSV2 as the French version of the CSV. So if I run this, you see that the DBP3 is coming appropriately, 9 variables. Donc, si votre ordinateur en français et que le séparateur, ce n'est pas le point virgule, mais ce n'est pas la virgule, mais le point virgule, vous pouvez soit importer comme ceci en ajoutant l'argument séparateur point virgule, ou alors vous utilisez la deuxième version de la fonction read.csv qui est spécialement conçue pour les données qui ont été saisies dans une machine en français, où les conventions sont différentes. Je ne sais pas s'il y a des questions. Do you have questions, please?
Sorry, what have you changed that made the software to still be able to bring the same data? Is it the adding of the CSV2?
Only that, yes. Only that. The difference between the CSV and the CSV2 is that by default, the separator in the CSV is the comma. And by default, the separator in the CSV2 is the semicolon. That's the difference between both. I mean, it has other differences, but the main difference we are exploiting here is that separator. And we said that the CSV file, in the CSV file, the separator is exactly the comma for the French version, for the English version. But in the French version, because the comma already has the meaning, the separator there is instead a semicolon. So is it okay?
Yes.
Very okay.
Allô, vous m'écoutez? Allô?
Oui, il y a un souci, on est là.
Oui, je disais tantôt, avant de mettre tout là, il faudrait que lorsque tu as enregistré tes données, tu aies mis le 2 là, tu as ajouté le 2 sur le white, là où tu as mis white, tout.
Non, on n'est pas forcé d'ajouter le 2. J'ai ajouté le 2 là juste parce qu'il est en train de créer une autre version du même fichier. Parce que si je laissais comme ça, on ne peut pas avoir deux fichiers exactement du même nom. Ça peut être enregistré.
Ok.
Votre base de données peut être enregistrée sous n'importe quel nom. Mais dès lors que la base de données a été créée dans une machine en français et que c'est un CSV, on suspecte que le séparateur ne sera pas la virgule, mais le point virgule à la place. Donc, pour importer ça de manière appropriée, soit vous utilisez la première version de la fonction read CSV, mais il faudra que vous précisiez que le séparateur, c'est le point virgule, ou alors vous utilisez simplement la fonction read CSV2, pour laquelle le séparateur par défaut, c'est le point virgule, comme il faut chez vous.
Ok.
Je ne sais pas, la réaction là n'est pas très convaincante. Est-ce que je me suis fait comprendre?
On est là.
Bon, c'est parce que
Est-ce
c'est pas
on est là?
bien perdu, du coup, je sais pas, c'est peut-être en écoutant les enregistrements, je vais bien me retrouver.
Son réseau n'est pas très
Parce que
bon. On est
là,
là?
tu parles, oui, je vous écoute.
Oui, toi,
Oui,
vas-y.
bon, vas-y, ta connexion n'était pas bonne. Vas-y.
Oui, je dis ceci, au niveau de la source, moi je suis au niveau de la source. Tu as écrit data, j'ai la dernière ligne,
Oui,
data slash dbp-white.csv. Or dans tes dit, tu parles de CSV tout.
Voici
Là,
où
tu
je,
n'as pas mis tout à CSV.
voilà où je lis CSV2. Dans la fonction, pas dans le nom du fichier.
Ah, oh. Ah, d'accord, j'ai agrandi mon écran. D'accord, c'est bon, je lis maintenant. Merci.
Donc, if you have any other CSV file in your computer, something we have not shared with you, try to import it appropriately. That's an assignment. So, get a couple of CSV files from any source and import it into RStudio. This is an assignment for you. So when you'll be submitting this assignment, you must not give us, I don't know, Monsieur Pascal, do you think they must share the file with us?
Yes. If it is a file that is for your work, I think it may not be good to share your data set with anyone. So I think we are going to give them some files in CSV so that they should be able to import it for themselves. And when they import, they have to show it in the script, the code that they use to import.
Okay.
How do you see? I think that is better.
Okay. So the assignment is import into RStudio CSV datasets provided by the trainers. Okay, that's it for CSV. I've also discussed a lot of things there, but I'll let you discover it when you'll be going through the materials. And what I was telling you, let me just briefly explain this. So you see, as I'm importing the file here, in this type of document, we call it Markdown documents or Quarto documents. It's not really the topic today. But what you need to know about this type of document is that wherever it is located in your computer, it will take that space as the working directory. For that reason, I had to go back before opening the folder data. So try to read this and make sense out of it. It may help you one day, especially when you start to manipulate this type of file. So I was just explaining for you to understand why I'm putting dot twice in the slides there. Because my current location was somewhere inside. I had to go out before entering the data. Imagine the situation this way. We are in the house. You have the pylon and you have many homes, and you cannot go to a home without passing to the pylon. So my current location, I'm inside a home and I want to go to another home. I have to go back to the pylon before entering the other home. Going back is the two dots here. That's what I mean. Donc, j'ai fait une petite métaphore pour expliquer comment les choses fonctionnent. Imaginez que vous êtes dans une maison d'habitation à plusieurs chambres. On ne peut accéder à une chambre qu'en passant par le salon. Or, ma position actuelle, je suis dans une certaine chambre, j'aimerais aller à l'autre chambre. Il faudra que je rentre au salon avant d'aller dans l'autre chambre. Et comment on rentre au salon? Je rentre au salon avec 2 points. Donc, je rentre au salon avant d'entrer dans la chambre d'état. La chambre où je me trouve actuellement, c'est la chambre slide, par exemple. So, when you'll be reading the slides and you see 2 dots, don't shout, please. That's the meaning. Okay. There's another way to import CSV files, and I want you to discover it. It's also very interesting and simple. I think at this point, we can already discuss Excel files.
Yeah, so, I think we can go to Excel.
Okay. So you see, before we import a CSV file, we do not have to load any package. But when you are already with Excel, you must load packages. A package. One common package we use here is the package readXL. readXL. There's another one called OpenXL-SX. You can discover it later, but in our example, we are going to work with readXL. So I hope you have downloaded packages as we asked last time. It's time for us to use the package. How do you use the package? Remember, we said you have to load the package, and you load the package using the function library. So I'll say library read Excel. Like this. The package is loaded. I mean, the code is written. I need to load it to run it. I'll run the code. You see, the code is run. It's not giving any output, but everything is okay. In R, generally, no output means there is no problem. So it's time for us to load an Excel file. I don't remember the name of the Excel file I had, so I can just go back and take this line of code to remind me what I had in that under the folder data. So if I run this code, this is an Excel file I had there. The Excel file is gastritis data2.xlsx. I'll just copy this code. And this data set, I'm calling it gastritis. I want that anytime I call gastritis into R, it refers to that exact data set. And under the package now, there's a function. This thing is disturbing. There's a function read underscore Excel like this. So read underscore Excel, I want to go from my current location and go into the folder data. And inside the data folder, I want the file gastritis underscore data.xlsx. Now, there's another argument I want to introduce. The argument is called
Hello?
Sheet. Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, Julius, before you go to Sheet, I just want to remind them that for beginners, they also have this problem of adding the extension. We should insist there, XLSX. They will always write and forget to add the extension and have difficulties in importing. So you always make sure you add that extension. And you see the extension has changed. It is now XLSX, not .csv. It is .xlsx for Excel, no, not .csv now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pascal. This is actually a very important point to emphasize. I took it for granted, but I was not supposed to do so. The extension is very important. Even if you remove one letter on the extension, it has changed. It's no more the same file. So you saw as I printed what is inside there, I copied the full name. I don't let any letter out. So the extension should be correct. You know, when I was starting R myself, I used to face issues with importing the CSV file one day, and I realized that instead of saying .csv, I was saying .cvs. It was giving me error. I was not understanding the error until I gave up that method. I used the other method before discovering my error one day. So it's very important you put the extension correctly. If you don't, you will not succeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Pascal. So I can run this line of, oh yes, I can add sheet. The reason I'm emphasizing on this argument is that sometimes we like Excel sheets, Excel workbooks, because you can have many worksheets inside. But when you are importing, you can import only one worksheet add-on. So, and if you want to have control upon that, you need to specify the sheet. The name of the sheet is spelled exactly as in the file. Let me open the file for you to see. So if I open the file, this is it here. You see, this is the name, sheet 1. So, you know, you could have another sheet, another one, but when you want to import and you want to have control on which sheet is imported, you need to specify the name exactly as it is here using the argument sheet that you saw in the code. So this is how I import. I use the function read Excel under the package read Excel. I specify the location of the file and I give the sheet I want to import. At this point, I can run this block of code and you see gastritis appearing up there. It is telling us that it is 132 observations of 3 variables. This is how you import Excel files. So please bring your questions. Do you have any question about data importation? For other formats, I suggest you discover it when you are working with the materials. It's a very straightforward process.
Yes, I have a question here, Mr. Julius.
Okay.
Yes, my question regarding for the library, read XL. The question is, what's different between installation the package and read the library?
Installation is when you get in your computer. Using the function library you want is when you want to use it. So there's the time for installation, and every time you open, you want to use it, and every time you want to use, you must load using this line of code. So it is already there installed, but you cannot access it until you load it. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, I get your point, but the importance, the library more than the installation the package, right?
I'm not sure.
Can I say something? Can I
Yes.
say something? Yeah, Mohammed, installing is just once. When you install a package like Read Excel, he showed how the code how to use the code to use to install any package. Install the code was install package, and then in bracket you write the name of the package in quotes again. When you have installed a package, anytime you want to use the package again, you don't install again. It's already in your computer. The only thing that you have to do is to load it, and you load it using the function library.
Yes,
I hope it makes sense.
Yes, but there is something library is not available in the R. You should to install it in the package and read the library, right?
Please come again.
I can get you well.
There is some library is not available in the it is not available. It is not come with the R when you install it the first time. You should to install it in the package and to read the library, right?
Yes. When you install, it comes with a number of packages, but you, the user, you have to install many other packages depending on your needs. When you install them, when you want to use them, you must call them like this. But when those packages you are not the one installing, you don't have to call them before using. It's already there. You can open and start using. But the ones you installed yourself, you install only once, as Mr. Pascal said, and every time you want to use that any function under the package, you must load it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I will not even say every time you want to use it. For any section you want to use it, because as I've loaded like this, I can work with it without running the line of code anymore until I close RStudio and open again. So for each section where you want to use functions under the package, you need to load it.
Thank you so much. Merci. Thank you.
Monsieur Pascal, on peut encore prendre des questions et des commentaires par rapport à l'importation de données. Lorsque ça va se couper, on revient, on couvre rapidement l'exploration.
On a encore combien de minutes?
S'il vous plaît, résumé en français.
Le résumé de quelle partie?
Sorry.
Et on a oublié, on est là.
Donc,
oui, la partie où tu as parlé des chiffres là.
Ah, d'accord. On parlait là de l'importation des fichiers Excel. Et on disait que, au contraire des CSV qu'on peut importer sans avoir besoin d'un package, pour importer le fichier Excel, on a besoin d'un package. Bon, dans les présentations, on parlait de 2 packages, mais pour l'exemple, on utilise un seul package. Read XL, ça fait partie des packages qu'on a demandé d'installer la dernière fois. Et l'installation ne se fait qu'une fois. À moins que vous ne formatiez votre machine, à moins que vous n'ayez une nouvelle machine, on n'installe qu'une fois. Donc, lorsque vous avez installé déjà au préalable, c'est le moment de charger le package. Pour utiliser le package, il faut le charger. Et comment on charge? On utilise la fonction librairie, comme on a dit la dernière fois. Et à l'intérieur, comme argument, on spécifie le nom du package. Lorsqu'on a lancé cette ligne de code, ça veut dire qu'on a désormais accès aux fonctions qui se trouvent sur ce package. Et la fonction qui nous intéresse en particulier, c'est la fonction read Excel, comme ici. Donc, on veut lire un fichier Excel ou bien on veut importer un fichier Excel. On spécifie la localisation comme on a eu l'habitude de faire, mais cette fois-ci, faisons attention au fichier qu'on a importé. C'est un fichier .xlsx. C'est comme ça que les fichiers Excel sont. C'est vrai qu'il y a les fichiers Excel XLS. Là aussi, ça marche exactement de la même manière. Donc, ça aurait pu être un XLS. On aurait mis comme ça. Mais dans le cas présent, c'est comme ceci. Donc, on écrit le nom du fichier exactement comme c'est, avec l'extension exactement comme c'est. Et puis, il y a un autre argument là qu'on a ajouté, sheet, qui veut dire feuille. On sait tous qu'un fichier Excel peut avoir plusieurs feuilles. Donc, comment on sait quelle feuille on est en train d'importer? On va avoir le contrôle là-dessus. On va ajouter l'argument sheet equals et on met le nom de la feuille exactement comme c'est dans Excel. Donc, si je rouvre le Excel, vous verrez le nom de la feuille qui nous intéresse, sheet 1. Ça commence par un S majuscule. Il y a un là, il n'y a pas d'espace. On écrit ça exactement comme cela dans R. Donc, voilà ce qu'on disait tantôt. Et un petit trick aussi, un petit piège là dans lequel il faut éviter de tomber. Lorsque vous travaillez sur les fichiers CSV, ne créez pas plusieurs feuilles comme dans Excel. Le CSV s'ouvre aussi comme le Excel, comme ça, c'est bien beau. Là en bas, ça vous donne l'impression que vous pouvez ajouter d'autres feuilles. Mais si vous ajoutez les feuilles, vous sauvegardez, à la fin, ça ne va conserver qu'une feuille. Je vous parle comme ça là, avec le cœur qui saigne parce que j'ai appris de ça de la pire des façons. J'ai passé toute une journée à travailler sur un CSV comme ça. J'ai créé une autre feuille un peu comme un brouillon là. À la fin, qu'elle sauvegardait, c'est le brouillon qui a sauvegardé. Jusqu'aujourd'hui, je n'ai pas refait ce travail. Donc, lorsque vous travaillez sur un CSV, évitez de créer plusieurs feuilles. Et même si vous créez, il faut savoir quelle feuille sera provisoire. À la fin, vous retirez la feuille et vous sauvegardez la feuille qui vous intéresse vraiment. Ça, c'est une petite expérience personnelle que je partage.
On a encore combien de minutes?
2 minutes.
Julius?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Ah oui, on prend des questions.
Savoir...
Excuse me, I have a question, if you allow me.
Yeah.
Okay. There is any code to check all the libraries that installation with the R? You have any code to do that?
Yes, there's a code. I think it's installed package. You can write install package with ED.
L'exemple, s'il te plaît.
Yeah, I give all the packages installed.
So you can use this function to check all installed packages. When you run them, you will see.
Okay. What about libraries?
Libraries
any code
load packages. It's there to help you load. But if you want to know which one is installed, you are using this one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Clear.
So
but I want to say something to Mohammed. There's no need to be running installed packages to see all those packages. It doesn't help you so much because there are thousands and thousands of packages. In you are interested only on one or two, so you just need to load the package that you have already installed, as he said in the previous lesson, from the internet. When you install it, you just need to load it using a library. Library function only helps to load it for you to use it.
Okay, clear.